Trump. Jay Sekulow is back with us. Hey, Jay.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, we've got a bunch of topics for you to talk about, which is all in your area of expertise. First off, the story in the Hill that came out a couple of days ago that talked about James Comey in his 9 meetings with the president. 7 of those meetings he took notes on. It is said in this story that 4 of the 7 contained some type of classified information, some type of classification.
Right.
What does this mean to you?
It means that James Comey was leaking, potentially leaking classified information, but we know he was leaking information, and it may well have been classified. Look, I mean, just think about for a moment here what has happened. James Comey had conversations with the President of the United States. He wrote those conversations or put them into a memo that he typed in his government car, on his government computer, put them in his government desk, and then when he got fired, he releases them to a friend of his, who then releases them to the New York Times. This was not just conversations, extending pleasantries, exchanging pleasantries. This was a conversation with the President of the United States. The classified information situation increases the level one more time. But look, at a minimum, he gave out information about a conversation with the President of the United States that violates Section 641 of the Criminal Code.
Jay, will we ever find out if any of the information that he leaked to his friend, if that information was classified?
Yeah, I think we're going to, because ultimately this information's been turned over to the special counsel. I'm sure the committees, the Senate and House committees, are going to ask for it. If you look at the number percentages, the percentages are there that something was classified. But I want to take a step back again, Ansley. This was a conversation with the President of the United States. It was covered by executive privilege at a minimum, and James Comey ignored that when he illegally, and I'll underscore that again, distributed that information for one purpose only: to get a special prosecutor. He gets a special prosecutor based on illegally leaked information. What does that tell you about the whole basis for this special counsel?
Well, there you go about that. Mr. Comey's, the fellow who leaked to the New York Times, Columbia University law professor Daniel Richman, he says that no memos were given to the press, no memos were classified at the time he received them. I think he said they weren't given because I believe he read them to them over the telephone.
Right.
He also says this was not classified at the time and remains unclassified.
Well, he doesn't. How does this law professor know that, by the way? How does this law professor know if it was classified or not? Remember what James Comey testified to on the Hillary Clinton matter? That it's not always marked as classified, even if it is classified? First of all, how did he end up with these memos? Oh, James Comey gave them to him. Memos again, I want to reiterate this. Memos that he engaged in, conversations with the President of the United States, that he leaks to this law professor, who leaks them to the New York Times by reading them to him, as if that means that they're not liable because they were read to. That's not the way it works. Taking that property was a violation of the law, and that's the basis of the counsel. That's absurd.
We quickly want to ask about Don Jr. because his attorney is saying he got an email from the friend. The friend said this lady said she has information against the guy's opponent and her party. He says he had no knowledge of specific information if she was connected with Russia. Is him taking that meeting, is that a crime?
No. Are the Democrats screaming that the Ukrainians were working with the DNC and others for the Hillary Clinton campaign? And are they screaming about that process? No. Look, in campaigns, guess what? There's opposition research that becomes available sometimes. Here, it was ended up being nothing. So a meeting takes place, and we're making like this is some huge international event. Hundreds of meetings take place in campaigns. Meetings that involve, in this particular case, opposition research that never materialize.
Yeah, now that you're board, are you going to go through the entire campaign and say you're embarrassing the president? You have to come clean, go through your notes, talk to your secretaries and assistants, and find out who met with any Russians or anybody of Russian descent or any other country. So most of your drip doesn't fuel.
Brian, with due respect, I mean, if you met with anybody with Russian descent, you'd be meeting with me, because my name is Sekulow, which is Sekulow. This whole thing is, no one's going on you're asking basically, is everybody reviewing notes? Of course people review notes, review data, and find out that data. But this is much ado about nothing. It was a meeting with an individual lawyer who was Russian, right? That's what it's been reported as. And supposedly had information regarding Hillary Clinton, which she did. And the meeting turned out to be about what?
I agree with you, but if you had said that when they asked us, there would be almost no issue.
I think it's, well, look, it's no issue anyway, and I go back to, Brian, the fact
that the Ukrainians were attempting to intervene on behalf of Hillary Clinton, and because these are political campaigns, these things happen. No one has pointed to me where there's a legal violation of a meeting with a Russian lawyer that involved the campaign. Real quick to ask a question, and this kind of ties into the Comey stuff, where he had his friend released to the New York Times. According to the New York Times, on this story about Donald Jr. and an email, there were three sources who talked to the New York Times. It sounds like either the sources were somehow in the Department of Justice or in Congress. And both of that, if either of those are true, that's really bad. Well, there's leaked information by people that have authority to have that information. There's leaked sources, but there's also reports that the individual that one of the recipients of the purported email that was created was the one who was talking to the New York Times yesterday. So here's what you got. Information is being leaked. Those leaks need to stop. James Comey, the known leaker, the one leaker we have, is the basis upon which the special counsel has been formed. That's been raising the question of the entire special counsel issue based on illegally leaked information. Yeah, someone just does not want to see this administration get action. Jay, thanks so much.